Hey guys, so I can feel the angry faces that you've got because you've now got to go to a second part of the video to figure out why it is that I did something wrong. So I apologise for that. And by the way, hey, it's Stephen here from Heresy Academy if you haven't already guessed. So, as I was messing around trying to put in the bool for the walking, stuff like that, it didn't work too great. Now, what I've done now, so I am going to get rid of the walking function here. Okay, I completely messed up with that. I didn't need it. So originally you'd have seen underneath the get key, the get key, right arrow, the left arrow. I put the anim.setFloat inside there. So that worked. It did what we told it to do. But it only did it if that key was done or that key was done, that was pressed. So what you want to do is underneath the last one, so outside of any if statements, inside the update, so it constantly keeps doing it. It keeps setting the speed, setting the speed as the player velocity, and that is what stops it. That's what puts it back to zero. I apologise for that. It's not that I wasn't focused. I just wasn't focused that well. So, with that being said, I'm just going to save the script again. Jump back into Unity now. That's the only thing that's different, is the fact that I've moved that line of code underneath into the update function. So when it loads in, I've clicked play. So when it loads, it should pop up, and you'll see now. Again, you can watch the animator here. The idle will run. So I'll start off with pressing jump. Yeah, but I'll move, and it's working. And it stops. Go backwards, and it stops. Every time now. But as well, it's got no exit time, so it will do as we say. So that was it. That's all it was. Just need to move that line of code. Now, like I said, you're moving left and you're basically walking backwards, like the moonwalk style, not in a cool way. So what I'm going to do now in the rest of this video is I'm just going to change that for us. So what I'm going to do, in the what's it called, inside the player script, for the right arrow and the left arrow, this is where I'm putting it this time. So when the right arrow is pressed, when we're moving that direction, I want to transform. Right, so this should work still. We'll just write transform. Yes, it works. Dot local scale. Okay. The reason I was just questioning that is because they got rid of a load of things, and you've got to say like get component and stuff. And I think I just broke my chair. So we're going to go for transform.local scale, and this is going to be equal to what's called new vector 3. Although it's a 2D game, you've got to use the 3D in this instance. But what we're going to do is we're going to set everything at 1f, because we're not changing the scale of it. And this is why I changed the pixels per units in one of the setup videos instead of changing the scale. So that's very important to consider. If you change the scale of your sprite, make sure you set it up here. And to make it a bit more clearer, this is your X value, this is your Y, this is your Z. So if you made it bigger, like 2X and 2Y, change it here as well. Okay, so this is the line we put here. But for the left, so if we're moving minus, we'll write the exact same line, basically. And that'll be transformed at local scale equals a new vector 3. But this time the vector 3 is going to be minus 1f, still 1f, and 1f. Okay, it's minus 1f because it's on the x, and what we're doing, we scaled it 1x this way, then to minus it, it basically just turns it around. Okay, so I've just saved that. I'll drop this back into Unity, and assuming that I'm having better luck now than I was like 20 minutes ago, which to you guys may not have been 20 minutes ago, may have been like 2 minutes ago if you just finished that video. There's no errors, so we're going to click on play. I said though, we can mess around with the speed and stuff like that, the movement speed, to make it move quicker and all this lot. We drops in, walk to the right and we can jump, and we walk to the left. And walk to the right, left. You see how it's changing? Let me just maximise this, let's bring this up now. So we're walking to the right, douche, douche, and walking to the left. And we're walking to the right, and walking to the left. So what we're doing, like I said, we're scaling the image. So if I just go into the scene, and I grab the player image, and on the X, if I set this to -1, see how it just changes its direction? And put it back to 1, but -1. 1. That's all we're doing to the image. So that's how it works. So put it back to 1 there. And that, everybody, is the animation finished. So just to go over it again then, from the end of the last video, the anim.setFloatSpeedMath.abs player.velocity.x was underneath the get keys for the left and right arrow, and that's where the error was. So you want to use this function. If you remember, we're setting the float of speed that we set up in the animator, and we're using an absolute mass function which will take the player's velocity. The player is our rigid body, so the rigid body's velocity on the x, and in the whole of the update it will just keep updating the speed on our animation. So if you've got the get key right and then you let go of it, it's not going to run it again. It's not going to update it to say, yeah, that's 0 now, because you haven't got the get key. So make sure you put it outside any if statements and it updates. I still do silly errors like that, very, very silly mistakes. Because like I said, I was trying to set it up with bools. I know there's a way, because I do it. I use bools for the walking in like in RPG games. So I know it's possible, but I do feel like I messed up a bit, because the way I've done the input here as well, I'm not using axes or anything like the axis, so I'm getting different values and stuff like that. So anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you give it a thumbs up. I hope you'll subscribe, because I'm sure you'll like the videos that are coming up next. And this will it, and I'll see you in the next video, which by the way is about particle systems. So go watch it, please.